Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Brother Arif. I'll be your host for this 1 hour session, inshallah. Um, we will be covering a number of topics, just kind of to get you familiar with the process. I know a lot of you have many, many questions, and I promise you in due time they will all get answered. So let me just start the presentation here. 1 second. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you all once again for joining. This webinar is, the topic is post-package purchase overview. So what are we going to cover? Well, we are going to cover, sorry, just waiting for the next slide to pop up. So who is this webinar for? This webinar is for those that have purchased a Hajj package in the Majr al-Kabsh camp or the Al-Muasim camp from the following service providers, and particularly those specific packages that are supported by us. So the service providers that we will cover are Sira, Yusra al-Mashayir, and Ikram al-Dayf, inshallah. So what is not covered in this webinar? So this webinar is strictly for post-purchase, meaning we will not be talking about any topics relating to purchasing a package in the upcoming phases. We'll not be talking about what's left over in terms of package sales. We won't be answering any questions regarding other service providers. If you purchased a package from one of the service providers not mentioned, I honestly don't have any data to share with you, so it wouldn't do any good for me to talk about them anyway. And then most importantly, we won't be covering any questions related to the fiqh of Hajj, itinerary details, or questions specific to individual requests. This is a general overview, and it's for the collective, for the group. So the questions and the topics will be those in somewhat of a broad nature that'll cover for the majority of folks that are joining in, inshallah. So first, I know we've been on a long journey. The journey of our Nusuk pre-sales journey started back in August, September. Wow, time really flies. So first of all, I wanted to wish you all mabruk, congratulations. I know it's been stressful, but we got through it together. So alhamdulillah, congratulations on securing your Hajj package and mostly your invitation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to embark on the journey of a lifetime. So what's next? Well, we're going to need a big dose of patience. We know how excited you all are, and we are also very excited for you. We take this as a passion project every year. We do it for the love of the Hujjaj, for the sake of Allah, and to attain His pleasure and seek reward. So may Allah accept your intention and give you the reward of a Hajj Mabrur. We know you have many questions, and we promise that they will all be answered in due time. Questions from what type of shoes I wear, questions regarding for our sisters when they are performing tawaf. Many questions from a religious nature, a logistical nature, everything in detail will be covered, I promise you. Please understand that for right now, the service providers are still in sales mode. I mean, alhamdulillah, all of us that are on this webinar today have already secured our Hajj packages, but there are many brothers and sisters that are still waiting to purchase theirs. So the shift from sales phase to kind of operations phase doesn't really happen until the service providers are done with their sales process. So there's going to be numerous phases, and I imagine probably close to the end of Ramadan is when all the sales will finally finish. So what should we be doing right now? So what we should be doing right now, step one, in Telegram, we posted the links for the forms. So there's 3 separate forms depending on your service provider. Obviously, there's a specific form for Sira, a specific form for Ikram al-Dayf, and a specific form for Yusra al-Mashayir. So the easiest way is to go to Telegram and click on the link. If you, for some reason, have not joined Telegram, you definitely need to do so because that's where we will be sharing all the updates. and just click on the link. But if you don't have it, click on the link. I'm sorry, just copy down the link that's posted on the slide, and then make sure you get in touch with us so we can share the Telegram link with you, and you can join our Telegram group to get all the updates. Now, if you're with Saudi Hajj and Umrah, we haven't forgotten about you. It's just that process hasn't started yet, so you'll get a link to fill out a form in the near future, inshallah. So once you fill out the form, you'll get a welcome email with some information in terms of contacts for your specific Hajj package designated agent. For Sira, the designated agent is Sister Sahar. And you can see her phone number there and extension. For Yusra al-Mashayr, it's Brother Haider. And for Ikram al-Daif, it's Sister Huda and myself, Arif Khosla. So the preferred method of communication is email. Right now, we're still getting a huge volume of sales calls. So sometimes it's hard to get through by phone. So once you get that welcome email in 3 business days after filling out the form, you can reach out to us via email if you have any particular question. But I can tell you that once you fill out the form, all your special requests, rooming with family, all your desired upgrades, be it business class or Kaaba view or what have you, all those have been noted in the form, and we will get back to you in due time. Right now, as I mentioned earlier, all the service providers are still in sales mode, so none of those requests are even going to be fulfilled anytime soon. So we finished step 1. What's step 2? Well, just be calm and patient until all phases of sales are complete. Take a break, enjoy Ramadan, spend your time in dhikr. And just to remind you, most things will happen after sales are done, probably like at the beginning of Shaban. So you have a little bit of a break. So this is kind of a preview of coming attractions. So what should you expect in the coming weeks leading up to Hajj? So let's start with your responsibilities, what we expect from the Hajj. So what you should do right now is, of course, prepare your heart for this journey. This is a journey unlike any other, and it will be a transformative one, provided you invest some time in it as well. Start making your dua list now, especially on the day of Arafah, when you have to fill the time from Dhuhr all the way to Maghrib with dua and dhikr. It helps to have a dua list compiled, so you can start doing that now. Adjust your perspective. What does that mean? That means release your suspicion and anxiety, embrace trust and openness. We have always been forthcoming with information to all of you, and that will continue. We're here to support you every step of the way. But you're going to hear things over time. Just let it go. Don't worry about it. Trust the source, which is us. Anything that comes from us is legitimate. Now, one thing as a word of caution for all of you, brothers and sisters, there will be messages that you get, whether email or Telegram or WhatsApp, asking you for information, things like that. Unless it comes from us on our channel, nobody will reach out to you individually. So those are spam messages. We don't want you to lose any money or have any sort of misfortune due to those messages. And unfortunately, there are unscrupulous individuals out there that take advantage of people at this time. So just be mindful that any information that's posted on our main Telegram channel is authentic. Anything you get individually, I would be a little bit suspect about. Obviously, if I send you something individually from our email accounts or Sister Huda or Sister Sahar, any of your designated agents, that's a different story. Prioritize your health. Start taking daily walks or run to prepare physically. For a lot of us, we're not used to the long walks, and there is lots of walking during Hajj. So start building up your stamina now. Complete your meningitis vaccine. That is a requirement for everybody for Hajj, and you will have to have proof with you. So that's a necessary item that you will have to do, is get your meningitis vaccine administered before you travel. Suggestion for all of you is to finalize and complete your will. And then lastly, follow our guidance closely, monitor Telegram, and attend all scheduled webinars. So what are our responsibilities? So let me give you some of the updates. And there's going to be a lot more than this, but I tried to summarize it for you. We're going to share the webinar schedule with you. These are program sessions, logistical sessions, general spiritual sessions. So what that means is there will be sessions overall regarding how to perform Hajj. Then there will be separate sessions on just maybe your package within your service provider. So there will be quite a number of those sessions, and attend the ones that apply to you and you find interesting. But definitely, spend some time. And we try to record all the webinars and all the sessions for your consumption later, inshallah. Confirm dates for booking domestic flights. So before you book your domestic flight, you should wait for your confirmation from your Hajj service provider regarding your group flight. So don't book your domestic flights now. And the reason for that is times can change, flights can change, dates can change. It doesn't happen all the time. But as you know, most domestic flights that we book are non-refundable, so we don't want you to have to run into that issue. We will introduce your guides and support team. That will come in the coming weeks as well. Provide decisions on gateway change requests and airline upgrades. So for some of you that are asking to change your gateway, it's usually not possible. If you're wanting to change to business class, sometimes it's possible. So we will give you updates on that. Ihrams for our Makkah First packages. So if you are traveling in a Makkah First package and you live in the US or Canada, we will mail you your ihram because you will need to be in ihram before you land in Jeddah. So we'll provide that to you, and that'll probably come about a month before travel. We will share detailed itinerary specific to your program. What does that mean? That is the day-by-day detailed itinerary of your movement during your entire journey. So we will share that with you as well. Provide details on layover hotel processes. So if you have a layover in a city, let's say Istanbul or Doha, and it's longer than 12 hours, if the airline is providing hotel accommodations, we'll provide that information to you. Provide details on bus lists and rooming assignments. So we will do that as well. And the reason is we want you to confirm that. A lot of you are traveling with other friends or family members. So we want to make sure that those, if they're in the same package as you, that they're on your bus, because there is a fair amount of transportation using bus as well. We will have specific WhatsApp groups as we get closer to travel. We'll switch from Telegram to package specific WhatsApp groups. So that's forthcoming. And then finally, ID badges, ID holders, drawstring bags, luggage tags, some dua books, some cards on how to perform Umrah, things like that. We'll provide all that to you for US and Canada residents. If you live in other countries, we'll supply that to you on the ground once we arrive in Saudi Arabia, inshallah. So some resources available to you now. You can definitely take some time and watch our YouTube videos from last year. And the address on youtube.com/@DST World Travel /videos. That has all the religious videos and logistical videos. I would probably avoid the logistical ones for now and focus on the religious videos that are recorded. They have Sheikh Yahya, Dr. Yasser Qadi, Dr. Haifa Yunus. I mean, all of them are there, and feel free to watch those and at least learn. Also, another great resource by Dr. Farhan Abdulaziz is his series called The Sweetness of Hajj, which he recorded some years back. I think it's an 8-part series, and it kind of breaks down Hajj step by step, very easy to understand. You can go to YouTube and just search Sweetness of Hajj, and his whole series will come up, and it's an excellent series. If you wanted something in print, Hajj and Umrah Brief Guide by Farhan Zubairi, that's available on Amazon. So you can go to Amazon and either search by his name, Farhan Zubairi, or by Hajj and Umrah Brief Guide, and the book will come up. And as I mentioned earlier, we will have a list of upcoming webinars posted in the coming weeks as well, inshallah. Okay, so let's move on to some of the frequently asked questions. So this will go through what I tried to do is to think of all the questions that you guys had on your minds right now. So I kind of just compiled all them. So just bear with me. And then if your questions weren't answered, you can definitely post them in the Q&A box and we'll go through them at the end. But for right now, just bear with me. So let's first start by questions regarding Hajj package hotel/lodging questions. First question is, can my camp be upgraded or downgraded? This means, can I move from Majr al-Kapsh to Moesam, or can I move from Moesam to Majr al-Kapsh? The answer is no, this is not possible. Can my occupancy be changed, for example, from quad to double? Changes to room occupancy that are purchased through Nusuk are generally not permitted. Every now and then, if they have excess inventory at the very end and somebody purchased a quad room, you may be able to purchase a double room for you and your spouse or significant other. But it's rare. If that option is there, we'll definitely let you know. Can I upgrade to Kaaba or Haram view? Yes, you can, possibly with an extra charge. I'm hoping that you all noted that in the form that you filled out or are intending to fill out. And then once that's available, we'll reach out to all of you. Can I change my hotel in my package? No, hotel changes are not allowed. It's part of the package that you purchase, so you can't change hotels. Can I arrive early or depart late and pay for an extra night? So the answer to that is yes. It's subject to hotel availability at the time of your request. So if this is something you want to do, let us know in a month or so, and we can circle back to you and let you know if it's possible, if there's inventory, and what the cost would be. Can I purchase a hotel room during the days of Hajj if I have a shifting package? Last year, this was an option. So inshallah, if that's something that you want to do, it is quite costly. During the days of Hajj is the most expensive time for hotel rooms. So if that's something that you want to do and this option is available, we'll let you know, and then we can move forward accordingly. Can I request a specific bed type or ask to be roomed near a family member? Yes, absolutely. Please make that note in the survey that we're asking you to fill out. Can I upgrade my room to a suite? No, suite upgrades are not available during Hajj time. So let's move on to flights. I know a lot of you have many flight related questions. When will I receive my Hajj ticket? Usually about 3 to 4 weeks before travel is when you'll receive your group booking. Can I book my domestic ticket now? No, you should wait to book your domestic ticket as I referred to earlier. Sometimes airlines have schedule changes. Sometimes there might have been an error when a human entered the data in Nusuk as far as your flight info. So please, we will let you know when it's time to book your domestic ticket. Just hold off for now. And also, just as a note, when you do eventually book your domestic ticket, if you're connecting, let's say in JFK, your international ticket for Hajj is through JFK and you're living in, let's say, Atlanta, don't book the domestic ticket with a tight connection. Give yourself plenty of time in case there's delays, because you do not want to miss your Hajj flight. If you can come in the night before and spend the night, that's probably best, because you've given yourself a cushion. On the return, you definitely, it's not as crucial because you're obviously flying back to the US. And if you miss your flight, you can always take another one. But definitely give yourself enough time. Can I upgrade my ticket to business class? For group flights, there may be an opportunity. We'll let you know when and if that happens. It depends on a lot of things. First of all, obviously inventory. There is a cost. Last year, the average cost was about $7,000 to $8,000 to upgrade to business class. But like I said, we will let you know. What do I do if I have a health issue or some other mitigating circumstance and must travel in business class? If you have to travel in business class and you want a guarantee now, then the best thing to do is to just forfeit your economy ticket. The easiest way is probably buy something that matches up with the same flight, same itinerary, and purchase your business class ticket now, and you can just get that done. If you're wanting to do something outside of that in terms of arrival, just check with us before you commit any funds to it, just so we can verify that it is acceptable within the rules of arriving for Hajj and departing for Hajj. How can I obtain advanced seat assignment? As you know, all the airlines charge for economy class advanced seat assignment. So once your ticket is issued and you receive your ticket, we will give you instructions on how to select your seat and pay for those seats, inshallah. So let's move on to general Hajj related questions. Can I pay for Adahi through Nusuk? So as you know, a lot of you have funds left over in your Nusuk wallet. If you wanted to do that, you can still purchase your Adahi through Nusuk. We are generally recommending you do it outside, but there's no harm in doing it within Nusuk. If you want to, you can still do that and use up those funds. When will I receive my refund for any unused balance in my e-wallet? So it's too early for this right now. We will let you know once this information becomes available and what action, if any, you need to take. But you will get the refund. You don't need to worry about that. How can I ensure that I'm with my friend's family if we are traveling together in the same package? Once again, note this preference in the survey that we had you filled out. When will my Hajj fiqh or logistical questions get answered? So after sales phase is done, we have many upcoming webinars, and we will answer all the fiqh of Hajj questions, and as well as all the logistical questions. We have separate sessions for fiqh, and we have separate sessions for logistics, and then we have some combined webinars as well. So you will have ample opportunity in the coming months, inshallah. When do I find out about my Hajj itinerary? We will cover your itinerary in detail in an upcoming webinar, usually about a month before travel. Do I need any vaccinations? As I mentioned earlier, you will need the meningococcal ACWY vaccine for Hajj travel. And if you've already taken it, it must have been in the last 3 years. Here's some more questions. How are elderly or special needs pilgrims supported? Hajj is a physically challenging journey by nature. We recommend you travel with a family member if you are in need of assistance. So, when will I receive the wheelchair I selected when purchasing my package? You will receive this wheelchair during the manasik. So that means before you leave for Mina. You will need to have a family member with you to push the wheelchair. In terms of people have asked, can I hire somebody? It's physically virtually impossible because the only people that are allowed into Mina during the days of Hajj are those that have bought a Hajj package. So you'd basically have to pay for somebody else to perform Hajj in order to have somebody push you. So make sure you have a family member or make necessary arrangements with a friend or somebody else to assist. How will I make my Rauda appointment? You will do it through the app, and we'll advise you as we get closer to departure date. Right now, it's too early. How do I book a wheelchair or a golf cart to perform tawaf or sa'i? Those services are available at the Haram, and we'll give you information how you do that. There is a website that you can book the golf cart for tawaf and sa'i or just sa'i, and we'll provide that to you at a later time. And then also there's uniformed agents at the Haram in Mecca that will push you in a wheelchair, so you can hire them for that portion of the Hajj journey as well. Is medical or travel insurance provided in the package? No, there is no additional insurances provided. If you're looking to purchase travel insurance, and all of us have already purchased our Hajj package, you should actually go to our recommended travel insurance company is travelinsured.com. So travel insured, that's with a D at the end.com. And you can get a quote. They'll ask you some brief information on your health, your package details, the cost, and then you can get an instant quote, and there's different levels of coverage. But we don't sell insurance, so reach out to them directly and they can give you a quote online or over the phone. So what happens if I get sick or need to be hospitalized during my Hajj trip? So during Hajj, the government in Saudi Arabia has clinics in place. We have a medical team that can provide, basic medical care as well. But most minor medical services are provided free of charge during Hajj. If you need more extensive, inshallah, nobody does, but if you do need more extensive medical treatment and you need to be hospitalized, that may come with an additional charge. So those were most of the questions that came to mind for me. So now, as a reminder, I know you guys are asking, okay, well, what do I do in the meantime? So as a reminder, now's the time to just focus on Ramadan, just relax. So prepare your heart right now by watching the religious sessions from 2025 and attend the new webinars upcoming in 2026 as they are announced. Monitor Telegram for announcements and updates. As I mentioned before, start preparing your dua list. Definitely enjoy the month of Ramadan. Take a break from all the stress of Hajj planning and focus on the most blessed of months. I mean, alhamdulillah, this is it's a blessed month that's coming, and we're all fortunate that we can attend another Ramadan. But you guys have been stressed out about your Hajj package for months, so this gives us a little bit of a break, alhamdulillah. And definitely make dua for your brothers and sisters that are still waiting to purchase a Hajj package. There are literally thousands of people that were left out of the first round of sales. So inshallah, make dua for them. And then lastly, you've come to trust in us. Leave the stress to us and rest assured that we will guide you every step of the way. So now, if you have any individual questions that are general in nature, I'm not going to, take any specific personal type of questions and nothing related to package sales. As I mentioned before, just type it in the Q&A box and I'll read it aloud and answer it, inshallah. Okay, first question. Wow, we got a lot of questions, alhamdulillah. Can we purchase the dahi with the remaining money? Yes, you can. You can do it through nusuk or wait and purchase outside. It's up to you. I had a quick question about my SIRA group. I tried to fill out the form online, but there's no option to select for HSR group. Not sure what HSR group is, but I don't think that's one of the packages we support. So I'm not sure what that question is about. I purchased a package with Ithara Care. Insert. So once again, any service providers other than the ones I've mentioned, we don't support, and I really don't have any information, so I don't want to give you incorrect information. Please explain which vaccines are required for anyone 65 and over. So this is a great question, actually. So in some states, they don't allow you to administer a meningitis vaccine for residents over the age of 65. If you live in one of those states, just go to your doctor. And even if you don't live in one of those states, if you're over 65 and don't care to take the meningitis vaccine for whatever reason, just get a note from your doctor and have that with you in case the authorities in Saudi Arabia ask you. Am I able to change my room occupancy? I covered that earlier, that you may have an opportunity to change that, but definitely not to a suite, just from maybe a quad to a double. Will the session be recorded? Yes, it's recorded. Salam, what is the average price roughly to upgrade to a Kaaba view room? I really don't know, but it's in the thousands for sure. Can we change room reservations from quads to doubles? Already answered that. That opportunity might come up, so stay tuned. We'll let you know if that opportunity is available. I booked for me and my wife a package with double occupancy. Can me and my wife stay in one room, or will we be gender segregated? So if you bought a double occupancy package and there's only two of you traveling, you will be roomed together. If we ended up with a Majral Kapsh, but with a package we did not originally want, what are the chances of getting an opening in the next phase and just switching to the package? So there was a 72-hour window to cancel your package for full refund without any penalty. I think we're outside of that window now, being that it's Thursday. And in round two, there are no Majral Kapsh packages available. So I would suggest you just stay put where you are, because you were one of the fortunate ones that were able to purchase in Majral Kapsh. Two questions for group flights. How can we add our global entry or frequent flyer information? And also for the hotel, can we add this info to our reservation from Medina to Makkah? Do we carry our luggage with us? So all these logistical questions regarding luggage and things like that, transport, we'll cover later. Just to briefly answer your question about group flights, after you get your airline ticket booking, you can contact the airline to add any frequent flyer numbers, inshallah. My mother and I secured a quad room in Sierra Essentials B. Can we switch to a double? If that possibility arises, we will definitely let you know. Can you put the link for the forms again? I don't believe I filled out any forms. If you're in our Telegram, the one of the last postings, either the last one or maybe two or three above, you'll find the link. If not, maybe one of the support team can post it in the chat right now. That would be awesome. The form that you shared for registering with CIRA does not include the option HSR bronze sort. So once again, this webinar is strictly for those Sierra packages that are supported by us. HSR bronze short is not a package that we support. So you will have to reach out to Sierra yourself to find out who the supporting agent would be. Which meningitis vaccine is required? The ACWI. How recent does a meningitis vaccine need to be within the last 3 years? Contact person for CIRA group. If it's one of the packages we support, you can reach out to Sister Sahar in the office. If it's not, you'll have to reach out to CIRA directly. You can get that information in your booking confirmation that was emailed to you, or you can go into Nusuk and find that information yourself. I filled out the form, but I've not heard back. You'll hear back from us by tomorrow, inshallah. We purchased our package tickets from Dubai to Medina and returned from Jeddah to Dubai. Can you help us with flight booking from US to Dubai both ways? Yes, we can. Just call our main number and we can help you with that, inshallah. When I go on the Hajj guidance form on Telegram, my package doesn't show up on the list. It's because you've purchased a package that we don't support. I book custom flights hurriedly during the booking phase. Is it possible to change my custom flights? Good question. There has been, from my understanding, a few people that reached out to Al Musafir or Nusuk and had their flights changed. So if you need to make any changes to your custom flight, please reach out to them and they will be able to do that, inshallah. I did not buy a Adahi from Nusuk. Will I be able to get it through you? Yes. We'll share those details with you when all the sales are done, inshallah. The package I selected reached full capacity. Do I have to select another package? If so, how can I change it? I think this is a question about package sales, future package sales. So we're not covering that in this webinar. We'll have another webinar devoted exclusively to those of you that have not purchased a package yet. My wife and I booked double rooms in our Medina and Mecca hotels. It is assumed that we would be staying together, but did not detail that in the survey. Yes, if you booked a double room and there's two of you traveling, you will be in the same hotel room. So don't worry about that. Same question, but a family of four. Family of four, if you book quad, you'll all be in the same room. Don't worry. It's not based on gender. If you're a family and you booked your package together, you'll be all in the same room. I was under the assumption our tickets were purchased when we configured our package. Yes, if you bought group flights, you'll get your flight details and the actual e-ticket about 3 to 4 weeks before travel, inshallah. Question about seating on airlines. So if you have a group seat and you want to sit next to your family, which I know all of you do, I would suggest you purchase the seats together, and you cannot do that until you get your ticket. So just be patient for now. Once you get your ticket, we'll cover all those details. Do we need to submit our passports to the Saudi embassy in the US before we travel for Hajj? No, you don't need to submit your passports to anybody other than show them at the counter before you get on your flight. We've asked you to send us a copy of your passport via the form so that we can monitor your visa process. But that once again, all those details will be shared at a later time. Are there contacts for creating wills in Canada? Great question. Maybe reach out to our Canada office and they can advise you. I'm based in the US. Not sure about the rules for wills and trusts in Canada, to be honest. How do we get the visa? It'll be coming to you electronically, probably about a month before travel. What is the availability for Sira Sid Deluxe? Those details will be covered in a webinar that deals with sales upcoming in the next day or two, and we'll post the details on Telegram, inshallah. What is the main contact channel for now through Telegram? Yes, absolutely. And once you get the welcome email, you can also email us. On the ground, who will be assisting us, your guides, your scholars, all of us here will all be here to guide you throughout the journey, inshallah. Questions about road appointments, we'll cover that in detail in the logistics sessions. You don't need to worry about that now. You can't even book, the calendar is not even open, but we'll cover that in detail at a later time once we have more details. Okay, I have a return date in signature B of May 30th. Can I change it to May 31? You might be able to. It's too early right now. As I mentioned, the service providers are still in sales mode. So we will share that information to you at a later time. What type of proof is needed for meningitis vaccine? Great question. So if you go to, let's say, CVS or Walgreens, they print out a receipt for you. Some places actually, if you go to a county health clinic, they'll do the vaccination card. Any of those things that just show the type of vaccine that's administered is sufficient. You don't need something super official. Even the receipt from the pharmacy is fine. Do you recommend paying for a dahi later? I mean, I do, but you can do it through Nusuk as well. Do we need biometrics done if a US citizen? No, you do not. That's only applies to specific countries, and that changes from year to year. We will let you know. But for right now, the US should not be in that category. Does the Ministry of Hajj allow pregnant women to go to Hajj? Yes, I mean they do. If you are very along in your term during Hajj time, definitely reach out to us so we can let our medical team know and provide some assistance and some guidance for you as well. And definitely, definitely take it easy as much as possible. How can we modify our flight? Modifications to flight are very difficult, but if it can be done, we'll let you know, but much later. When will we know about our scholar? In the coming weeks, probably I would say by mid to late Ramadan, we'll have all the scholars assigned. I'm based in Montreal. Another agency contacted me and told me I am with their group. Is that normal? No, if you bought one of our if you bought one of our packages that we support, definitely fill out our survey and deal with us. We'll be supporting you throughout the entire journey, inshallah. How much funds should you have remaining in your wallet to cover Visa? None. Your Visa is already part of the package. You've already paid for it. Are there any other incidentals I need to pay for through Nusuk? No. If you bought your package, you're done. Our time off from work is set from departure to return. Could you please clarify if the date or times on our e-tickets might change? If they do, how should we arrange our domestic flights? So just sit tight for now. I know like this is something that is important to every one of us. We all have our time and life commitments. Most of the time there is no change, but once in a while there is. So just to allow for any sort of a change in the itinerary, just be patient and we'll let you know. But rest assured, like most of the time, there isn't a change, but we just want you to wait because domestic flights are non-refundable, and we don't want you to buy a ticket and then find out that your departure time moved up 3 hours in the same day, and now your connection is too tight, and you have to buy a whole new ticket. Is there a possibility to get Majral Kapsh? The camp is sold out. If somebody were to cancel and it popped up and you'd happen to be on, then yeah, there could be a slim possibility that way. But in most instances, it'll be very difficult to buy a Majorel Cups package now. Can more scholars be added to our packages? Yes, we have a whole list of scholars that travel with us every year. Um, it's a numbers game. So as the sales happen, more scholars get assigned. So just be patient and we'll let you know. Can money be kept in the wallet for multiple years? I mean, I don't see why you would want to. If you've performed Hajj this year, um, there's really no reason to keep your money in the wallet. If the only difference would be is if you weren't able to buy a package and you want to roll it over to next year, yeah, you could do that. When will the logistical and FIC webinar start? Will they before or after the itinerary is finalized? Um, so the logistical webinars will probably start after Ramadan. The FIC webinars will start during Ramadan. We'll start preparing your heart, getting you ready for Hajj. So just be patient. We'll post those webinar dates and schedules probably in the coming next 2, 3 weeks. Can we upgrade to premium economy seats if I believe the only carrier that I know of at this time that has premium economy is Emirates Airlines of the carriers that were on Nusuk. And if it's available, yes, by all means, and we'll let you know. Are there any preferred vaccines besides meningitis? So meningitis currently is the only one that we know for sure is required. Last year, they did require a COVID vaccine for those 65 and above. I'm not sure if they're going to require that now as the cases of COVID have been diminishing, but we'll let you know, so don't worry. I mean, if you want to get the flu shot for some extra protection, I think that's a good vaccine to get. There's not too many complications for that. But the only one that is mandatory is meningococcal. Is gender segregation applied to double occupancy for husband and wife? No, you'll be in the same hotel room in Mecca and Medina. Should I request a refund now for the remaining balance if I'm not planning on spending additional monies through Nusuk? You definitely can. If you're done and the option is there for a refund, you certainly can request it. Can we have a copy of the presentation? The recording will be posted for sure. I've purchased Ikram al Dayf 302. I filled up a form. Is Dar es Salaam the same package as Al Maghreb and Dr. Omar Suleiman? Yes, it is. What does it mean? 3 beds on double room? No, double room is 2 beds, triple room is 3, quad is 4. Question about the Detroit to Medina flight. Yes, we're aware. We've reached out to Nusuk and the service providers. Some of you that purchased the Detroit to Medina flight, it's showing as Dallas Fort Worth. We're all aware of that. We're waiting to get back clarity, and we'll reach out to you on that, inshallah, as soon as we hear something. My Dubai stopover is 20 hours on the way to Medina. Will accommodation be provided? It should be. Just hold tight and we'll let you know, inshallah. If we travel overseas like a month before Hajj, do I need to let Nusuk know? Just let us know because if we're going to be shipping items out to you and you're not home, like for example, if you're in a Makkah first package and you need an ihram, just let us know and we'll make a note of that. But Nusuk, there's nothing to contact Nusuk about. How do I purchase Nusuk? How do I purchase a dahi through Nusuk after the package purchase? So there is an option within your package. If you go into your package and click on additional services, you can, if you haven't purchased the Adahi, you can do that now. You talked about wheelchair availability during Manesic. Can we use them only when needed, not during the whole journey? Yes, and we'll go over this in the logistical webinars because a lot of people do fall into the category where they may need a wheelchair. So we'll cover that in detail. But yes, you don't have to use it for the entire journey. You can use it for portion. Will we provide Saudia airport transport to hotels for Hujjaj coming from Australia? Yes, anytime your package includes package transportation to and from airports, to and from train stations, all the transportation domestically within Saudi Arabia has transportation already included and provided, inshallah. Can I change my return flight, custom flight purchased? If you purchased a custom flight through a Musafir, you might be able to do that, but you're going to have to reach out to them. I'll be moving before Hajj, inshallah. How do I update my address for the things that are being mailed out? Just let us know, before you move, and we'll update your address accordingly. The question on the vaccine, yes. So some of the vaccines are good for 3 years, some are good for 5 years, some are good for 10 years. Typically, the rules in Saudi Arabia are that you must have had it administered within the last 3 years. So just wait on that. If you had a meningitis vaccine in the last, let's say, 4.5 years, they haven't posted the rules as of yet, and we'll publish those on Telegram so it's clear to everybody. So just hold off. But if you haven't had your meningitis vaccine in the last 5 years, for sure, go ahead and get it done. Can I change my itinerary? I have executive A. Custom flight arrival was for Jeddah and I want Medina. If you bought it through Al Musafir as a custom flight, you'll have to reach out to them. If you purchased a group flight, it's not changeable. For upgrading the flights, can we use points? No, typically points are not allowed for business class upgrades. Do my son and I fill out a separate form for each of us? He mentioned there wasn't a spot for two emails. Just if you receive the welcome email, just send a reply email and ask for the additional email to be added for communication. Not a problem. I booked Sid Deluxe. Is that covered? Yes, that is one of the packages we support. Our group flight is arriving 2 days later in Medina. Can we change our group flight to arrive earlier? No, unfortunately. Um, the I mean the rules for all airline flights, whether it's group or and even if you buy an individual ticket, you're allowed to change your return, but you can't change your inbound flight. If you change your inbound flight, you basically have to cancel and start over. So that's not possible. When can we get information about upgrades for Kaaba and business class? I would say after Eid. I purchased a standard package from Ipcom. I don't see my package on the form. If you don't see the package on the form, it's one of the Ikram packages that we don't support. They had about, I think, 40 or 50 different packages, of which we support 10 of them. So if you don't see the package specifically on the form, that means that that's not a package that we support. And you'll have to reach out to Ikram individually. Their contact info is on your reservation form, reservation confirmation form. You can reach out to them individually, and then they will tell you who will be the person to provide you support. Can you reply to the question about how scholars are divided across packages that have both camps? So the way that works, it's a great question. So if you saw we released some of the scholars and attached them to a package, but it wasn't assigned to a specific camp as of yet. So as the numbers of sales fill up, like I mentioned earlier, it's a numbers game. So once we know how many people are in Majal Kapsh and Moyasam, then that information regarding which particular scholar to which particular package to which particular camp will be shared with all of you, inshallah. What if I'm under 65 and don't want to take the meningitis vaccine? Can I get a doctor's note? I mean, yeah, if your doctor will write a letter saying that it's there's some health issue that you can't take it, you can definitely do that. Will we get an opportunity to convert dollars to Saudi riyals? Yeah, that's covered in one of our logistics webinars. Very easily done when you land in Saudi. Money changers are everywhere. One of our hotel reservations is for 6 days, but we are leaving a couple days early. Will we be compensated for the difference? No. And the reason for that is during Hajj, all hotels are sold in durations with a minimum length of stay. So, like 1 through 4, 4 through 7, Zulhijjah, 7 through 14, Zulhijjah, so on and so forth. So, there is no refund for any unused room nights. What if our visa is rejected for some reason? What will happen to our refund? I mean, we haven't had anybody rejected. I hope there's nothing unusual in your past where you would be, so I wouldn't worry about that. Will there be an in-person seminar in Chicago area? That's a great question. I didn't cover that. So we do online webinars, obviously, and we also do quite a number of in-person sessions, and that list will be shared with you as well. Now, we can't hit every single city, but we usually hit the major cities. So yes, definitely, if we have an in-person session, and it usually covers the fiqh of Hajj, you can definitely attend, inshallah, and we'll share that with you at a later time, inshallah. Can I use my US health insurance in Saudi Arabia? Usually it's not accepted. When will this video be posted on YouTube? I would say within 48 hours. What if one gets bad side effects due to any vaccination? Talk to your doctor, get a medical note, and carry that with you that you are not eligible to take the meningitis vaccine. You mentioned for a family of four selecting quad occupancy, everyone would be in the same room. Does this apply regardless of whether all occupants are mahram to one another? Um, I mean, if you bought the package together, the system has no way of knowing if you're mahram or not. I would hope that all four of you are mahram. But yeah, if you were a family of four or a group of four that bought a quad occupancy package, you will all be roomed together. Now, if you do not want to be roomed together, let us know and we'll see what we can do. For Medina first packages, how are ihrams received? You receive them in Medina since you won't need them prior to travel. Do they check vaccination at the port of entry? Yes, they typically check when you land in Jeddah or Medina. Is it safe to travel out of the US considering the current circumstances? Has anybody had any troubles with customs or border patrol? Um, that's a good question, and I know a lot of us will have that concern as we get closer to travel dates. We usually do a webinar with CARE, and since they're the experts on this, and they'll be able to answer all your questions in detail, since they have attorneys that deal with this day in and day out. But in the past, other than, maybe getting secondary questioning, secondary screening, anybody that's a US citizen, I'm not aware of being denied entry into the US. Do we need to get travel insurance within 14 days of package purchase? I would probably, so the company that we recommend that has been pretty bulletproof in terms of coverage and service and support in the event that you need it is travelinsured.com. And to be honest with you, I don't know their exact requirements. I don't want to say it's 14-day and it turns out to be 10-day. I can tell you right now, it's only been 4 or 5 days since we purchased the Hajj package. So I would probably check out their website, reach out to them, and find out what the exact rules are. Is Hajj at Signature Journeys one of your emails? I received an email this morning. Yes, that is one of our emails, but it might have been sent out to you in error. That is from one of us, but typically that's not an email address that we're using currently. Is COVID vaccine required? I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know if it is. Can I withdraw leftover funds from Nusuk? Yes, you may. I just joined. Apologize, it's been asked. Any news regarding phase two sales? Not yet, and we'll have a webinar in the next 24 to 48 hours regarding future sales. Is it possible to change the return date? It may be. Once you get your flight information, confirmation, and ticketing, let us know and let us know your intention, and we'll be able to help you. But it's going to be at least a few more months before we get to that phase. Is there an option to upgrade from YYZ? From any gateway, if the option to upgrade to business is available, we will definitely let you know. Is there any cost for Visa? No, the Visa cost is already included in your Hajj package. Can I use my health insurance from the US and Saudi Arabia? No. We have over 5,000 riyals in the e-wallet. Can we withdraw now? Yes, you can. The SIM card will be provided to us. Will that be an eSIM? So we'll get into all the logistical questions regarding SIM cards, but there's a security process where you have to go and pick it up. They can't just hand you a SIM card when you land. So what we found is sometimes it's, even though it's listed as included in the package, a lot of times it's easier just to go to the kiosk and just take care of it yourself rather than working through the service provider, as they have to get a third party involved to do that. Is requesting to be near family friends only applicable if they purchase the exact same package? Yes. If they purchased a different package or in a different camp, there's no way to put them next to you. Are ihram's provided? Yes. If you're Makkah first, it'll be mailed to you. If provided you live in US, Canada. If you're Medina first, it'll be given to you in Medina, inshallah. A lot of logistical questions. We'll cover that at a later time. More questions about Roda, that'll be covered later. In-person webinars, we'll give you the schedule for all the in-person webinars as well. I don't even have any idea which cities we'll be going to this year. It's too early. Will Umrah be performed as a group? Yes. Does my Canadian health insurance cover you in Saudi Arabia? No, it does not. Can we swap group flights from another list of group flights for that was attached to the package? No, you may not. Are sleeping bags from Muzdalifah provided? Yes, we'll cover that in logistics. What mode of communication we'll use in Saudi Arabia? Typically WhatsApp, but we'll share that with you at a later time. Some packages have frequent transit to the Haram. Is that strictly by package? So if you are in a non-shifting Majr al-Kapsh package, you'll have daily transport by the service provider to your hotel. If you're in Muassam, typically the transportation is by shuttle bus. If we booked using a travel credit card that has travel insurance, would this work? Reach out to your travel credit card company and go over the details for travel insurance. I wouldn't even begin to know what the answer to that would be. If I have bought a custom flight from Nusuk, can I cancel and buy a similar flight outside of Nusuk? The answer is no. You must have a flight entering Saudi Arabia and leaving Saudi Arabia from Nusuk, either custom or group. I am so confused. You said my Ikram al-Dayf package I purchased isn't supported, but it's with the same provider. Can you explain why that is? Yes, I explained this earlier. Ikram al-Dayf has over 40 packages. We are only supporting 10 of those 40. So if you look at your email confirmation and reach out to Ikram al-Dayf, they can forward you to the person that's providing support here in the US, inshallah. Okay, we covered all the questions, alhamdulillah.